Hello. So you need to know, do you actually need to get your wills updated? And I say that there's three main reasons for getting your wills updated. The first reason is if any of your family circumstances change. So, for example, if your children are now over 18 and they're adults, when you first made your will, they were children, and they were younger children, and you had to appoint guardians in the will. You don't need that anymore. It could also be that you've got grandchildren now, or you've got other members of the family to consider that 10 or 20 years ago they weren't in the picture at all. So you might want to include them in your will now if you haven't already made provisions. Another reason could be, sadly, if somebody has passed away. So it could be an executor that you've named in the will, or a beneficiary. And if you haven't appointed any substitute executor or a substitute beneficiary, then you might think, well, I need to kind of update my will from that reason. So that's the first reason. The second reason is if your financial circumstances change. Because again, if your financial circumstances change, the will that was appropriate at one stage in your life might not be completely appropriate now. So it is always worth having your will reviewed, just in case you need to make some changes to allow for financial circumstances. And you might want to make additional gifts, for example. You might want to do some inheritance tax planning. And the third reason is if the law changes. So, woohoo, what if they scrapped inheritance tax? Or what if there's some big legislation that you've read about somewhere in a newspaper and you think, how does that affect me? And will that affect what I want to do in my will? And of course, I'm here to help with all that because I offer a complimentary review of your wills. And if you've already had your wills drafted by me, I always give you those three reasons as a reason to come and see if they need to be updated. And I will just talk you through the will that you've already got, and then we decide what needs to be done and if it needs to be updated as well. And of course, the final reason, I guess, is just the passage of time. It kind of flows with all of the rest of the three. Things change as life moves on, your circumstances change, and it could just be that you need to refresh and have your will updated. So I hope that's been really helpful. If you would like a complimentary review of your wills, then just drop me an email at info@swindonwillwriting.co.uk and I'll get in touch.